and the 2014 National Champion of Poetry Out Loud, winner of a $20,000 award, Anita Norman from Tennessee.
Poetry Out Loud is a competition, but more than this, it is an experience and it is an opportunity.
What surprised me most about Poetry Out Loud was probably the level of diversity of the kids that were participating in the competition. Theater backgrounds, football players.
It was really just almost awe-inspiring just to see people 16, 17, 18 years old just doing this, and you don't see that a whole lot, and it's amazing.
Poetry Out Loud is a national recitation contest for high school students with freely available curriculum materials. It takes up very little time in your teaching schedule. It gets students enthusiastic about poetry.
The entire idea behind Poetry Out Loud is to bring poetry back into the classroom, back into a one-on-one relationship with a student, and it's had a great impact on their lives. We hear again and again from Poetry Out Loud students. Their ultimate career goals have really been impacted by being a part of the Poetry Out Loud program.
Back from inside their flames.
The program encourages them to pick poems from an anthology of about 800 selections, and we ask them to choose poems that speak to them in some way.
Felt that love drained away.
Finding the character of the poem, making it something you can, grab onto, something tactile. I didn't know how much fun that would be.
Airborne, a moment long enough to fit a second thought in, she looks caught in the mouth bones of a fish as she floats into motion like a figure in a stack of time-lapse photos, thumbed alive.
I think poetry is amazing in that it can take 1 second in time and just completely blow it up into an experience that you can share with everyone else.
And every stone on the road precious to me in my darkest night. When the moon was covered and I roamed through wreckage.
If you can find something that feels like it was written for you, that's one of the most incredible experiences, and I think everyone should be able to find something like that.
Do you know that all the great work of the world is done through me? I am the working man, the inventor, the maker of the world's food and clothes.
The whole school's involved. We have every English classroom, every level, so all the kids are personally invested, and then they just selflessly cheer on everybody else. It's been a cultural phenomenon.
You can bring this entire work of art into the classroom in a manageable size.
The teacher has everything they need from the Poetry Out Loud website. There's a lesson plan, there's how to run a program, there's what to do, there's a scoring rubric, how to judge it.
Every teacher in the country should take part in Poetry Out Loud because of the gift you can give your students, the confidence building, the experience of competing, the ability to understand poetry, and those analytical skills can be applied to anything in life.
Poetry Out Loud means that you get an opportunity to speak for somebody else, and you get an opportunity to connect with people.
Before Poetry Out Loud, I wasn't particularly interested in poetry. I think that poetry has a lot of power in the way that it gives voice to different emotions.
Poetry has changed my life because when I go through the poems, I find out more about myself. If it weren't for Poetry Out Loud, then there's no way I would have had this experience.